Hello, this is John from caveofprogramming.com, and in this tutorial we're going to look at the declaration tag in JSP. So I'm going to create a new JSP file here, and let's call it declaration.jsp, and that all looks good. And let's just put hello here and check the thing works by running it. And there we go. Okay, now I said earlier on in this series of tutorials that JSP pages are compiled into servlets. Actually, they're translated into servlets before they're compiled into classes and run by the server. So, and when you type stuff in a scriptlet tag, then you're adding stuff in a do-get or a do-post method of the translated servlet, basically. And you might wonder if, therefore, if your JSP file translates into a servlet class, does that mean you can then add methods to that class or add instance variables to that class? And the answer is yes, you can. And you can do that with a declaration tag. So a declaration tag looks like this. And if I now say here, for example, private string name equals John, semicolon, stuff that I put in here, oh sorry, I missed off the vital bit here, that's a scriptlet tag, but if I put an exclamation mark there, now I've got a declaration tag, and I can declare private variables like this, or public variables for that matter. I can also declare methods, so let's just put a comment here. Let's say here, exclamation mark, this is an HTML style comment, declaration tag, and this is an example of course, a instance variable. And of course you can add methods by the same technique. I could say, for example, public, or let's say could be public, private, whatever, private get info, let's call it. So you can imagine that this does something, I don't know what. And this is not going to have access to the request or the response or out or any of these predefined variables, because they are I guess arguments to the method that this code gets put into, which is some kind of equivalent of a do get or do post, I'm not really sure. But if you wanted to access, for example, out variable here, you would have to pass it in when you call this method. But let's just return a string, hello there, and later on let's have a scriptlet tag. So let's have this and call the method. In fact, I can say out. Here I can access out, of course, out.write ln, or is it print ln actually, print ln, there we go. And I could call now, I meant to make that a string, so I can now call getInfo. So getInfo is, because it's in this declaration tag, it's just another instance method of the class that this gets turned into, so I could call it where I want to use it. And if I just run that, it's going to say hello there. So that's it. This is pretty simple. It's exactly like declaring stuff in any class, and then you can use it later on in a scriptlet tag. And it's perhaps not terribly useful, but it might sometimes be useful. So for the sake of completeness, I thought I'd show you this. And that's it for this tutorial, and until next time, happy coding.